Hey, what's up everyone? It's Crash here, coming at you with another build guide, this time for the Rogue. This is a Shadow Explosion AoE build, and man oh man does it feel good. Like, if you like doing big AoE explosions and just destroying the entire screen, you're gonna enjoy this build. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So our basic is going to be Shift Blade. This is does a little bit of damage, gives some movement speed. It's definitely the one that feels the best, for sure. Get the enhanced blade shift for movement speed. And then we pick the primary blade shift. It just gives us some nice damage reduction and crowd control reduction when we're using our basic attack. Yeah, it just feels good. Next, for our core, we're using Twisting Blade. Twisting Blade is kind of cool. When you do it on a mob, you're impaling the target, and then after a few seconds, it's gonna come back to you, doing damage through on every mob that it pierces through on the way back. So it's really cool. It works pretty well, and it synergizes extremely well with the everything else that we're doing with the build. So yeah, it's self-explanatory. And then we pick this for more cooldown reduction extremely early into the game, aka before you get the shadow imbuement. Before you get to this point, it might feel better to play with the improved Twisted Blade for the days, just because you don't have as much AoE, and it's kind of nice just making them not be able to damage you, just giving them a little bit of CC. So that is definitely worth experimenting with. I played with this until I got that, but you know, you could play around with the cooldown reduction. This is super good once you get to this point. Like, this feels so amazing. Next up we have the Sturdy, which is some damage reduction, but we're mainly picking this in order to get the Siphoning Strike, which heals you when you crit enemies that is close, and we do a lot of critting. I don't even know what that was. Sorry about that. So yeah, we do a lot of critting. Yeah, it feels extremely good. Next up, by the way, you only just you just pick the Twisted Blade, and then you can build up for this. You just every time you have leftover points, you can throw them in Siphoning Strike. Every time you need like points to path down. Yeah, next up we have Dash. It's just a nice mobility skill, and it also synergizes with the way that we are playing the build. So basically what you want to do, you walk up to the mob, you hit him with your core ability, and then you dash through the other mobs, and then the blade is gonna follow you. If that makes sense. You're gonna see exactly what I mean when we're getting to the gameplay. With how that works. And then we have Enhanced Dash, which makes them take increased crit damage from you for 5 seconds after you hit him with Dash. You don't need to pick this up immediately. Again, if you are missing a point to reach one of the other better nodes, you can definitely pick this up. This is... I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. It synergizes with everything else we do. And then we have Concussive, which after you knock him down, knock them back, you get 5% crit chance, and we need a lot of crit chance. Crit chance is our main healing, and it also is a big portion of our damage. The only way we are really able to knock them down is going to be with our next thing, which is going to be Poison Trap. This is our main single target damage. It also does a lot of AoE damage, but most of the times the mobs are going to be dead before you even need to Poison Trap, unless it's an elite. Yeah, Enhanced Poison Trap, which knocks them down, gives us the crit, which is really good. And then we take the countering Poison Trap to reset our cooldowns of our imbuement. We have Exploit, just gives a little bit more damage when we want it, right, up front, and we definitely want to do some more damage to them when they are low, because we want them to die in order to get our explosions, which we'll get into now. Shadow Imbuement. So, this way this works is, when you activate this, your next Twisting Blades or dash is gonna apply a debuff to the target that if they die within 6 seconds of this debuff, they're gonna explode. And if they do not, they just take a tick of damage. And we're gonna apply this to everyone, basically. And that will be paired with Enhanced Shadow Imbuement, which more crit chance against injured enemies, which is really nice. We do want them to die really fast when they're low. Yep. And increase damage of our non-physical damage, which is basically just our poison trap. It just increases the damage of our poison trap. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know if this would be worth it. Oh, I do also want to mention, there is an angle if you want to do a more single target. This is mostly AoE focused. You can play with Poison Imbuement instead. And pick, I'm not sure which one of these two. You'd have to experiment it yourself. I haven't played around too much with it, but there's an option for that. It's going to do more single target. And then for the Poison Trap, you probably want to play with the increased poison damage here. But other than that, the build is going to be the same. Anyways, the Precision Imbuement. Imbued skills gain 15% increased crit chance. We want that. Crit chance is our main sustain in terms of HP, and it's our main damage dealer, so it's insane. Next up, and for our ultimate, we are using Shadow Clone. I was experimenting with Rain of Arrows, because Rain of Arrows can apply our Shadow Imbuement, but it just didn't feel that good. Like, Shadow Clone feels so much better for what we're doing, and it also gives us a lot of single target damage, which you're going to see in a moment here. So, yeah, that is basically it for these skills. Hopefully you were able to follow along. One thing I quickly want to mention, before we get into some gameplay here, is that there's one legendary that I currently have, which makes this build feel even better, but trust me, it's still going to feel good without it, which is this one. So after we impale them with our twisters, when the blade turns to us, it does like a little orbit around us, just like one time, before it disappears. So, the reason why this is good is because when we have used Shadow Imbuement with our twisting blade, both the initial hit on this target that we're hitting is gonna get the Shadow Imbuement, and every single target that the blade hits on the way back gets hit with Shadow Imbuement. And then as well when it does the orbit. So we are gonna get it on so many targets. Like this thing, this legendary is insanely good for this build. It still plays extremely well without it, but this like makes the build feel like a dream. It's so amazing. I cannot recommend it. Actually, you have to try this build, okay? It's really fun. So yeah. The gameplay of this build is almost the same low level as it is going to be at max level, or level 25, right? Only 23 right now, but it doesn't matter. We have everything we need in order to show off what this build is going to do. So yeah, basically what you want to do, you twisting blade a target, someone that's like in the background or far away, and then you dash through all the other targets, and the blade is going to follow, and then it's going to do damage. You throw the poison trap if you need a little bit of extra damage to finish off the mobs, or there's a big dude in between. And yeah, when you get Shadow Imbuement, you just press the Shadow Imbuement before you do the impale. So you do Shadow Imbuement, impale, and then dash, and then there you go. Alright, let's see if we can find some mobs here so you can see just how satisfying and incredible this build is. Where's my mobs at? Oh man, I thought this was gonna be a good choice for dungeon. Oh yeah, it's fine. This is good. So let's just pull a couple of mobs here. So basically, as I said, we press Shadow Imbuement, we impale this guy, we dash through them, and it's just gonna go. And there you go. Everything just explodes on screen, right? So, Shadow Imbuement, impale, dash, everything explodes. can find some more targets. So as you can see, this is insane. The single target is not the most insane before you get Shadow Clone, but within Shadow Clone and with that legendary, you are absolutely gonna demolish single target. So it's pretty much the gameplay loop. You press, you dash, they die. It feels extremely good and it's very zoomy and fast, so if you like that kind of thing, just gonna put Shadow Clone here. A couple of times. Boom, boom. And yeah, this is basically the build 101. So we're gonna Shadow Beam someone in the background, dash through them, boom. It's just a quick 1-2, right? Or well, once you get Shadow Improvement, you're gonna include that. Before that, you do the exact same thing, except you're just not pressing that button. Shouldn't have it yet. And yeah, there you go. That is that's the build. It is extremely fun, and I simply cannot recommend it enough. I thought with the Barbarian build that I've made that I have had kind of like reached the limit of how insane of a build you could get, because that build is really good as well. This build is a little less tanky though, but it does have an okay amount of sustain. As long as you're hitting something, you're gonna heal a lot. I see, even the single target here is not too bad, but it's not amazing, right? It's not amazing, but it's pretty okay. It is more than enough. Especially if there is a lot of smaller dudes around them that explodes, then yeah, they're absolutely gonna get demolished. Oh man, I just real quick wanna see if I can find one more room with a lot of mobs, so you can get a little more of the Christmas. Wait, what is this? I haven't seen this before.
We came here to purge this evil, but now...
Wait, this is new.
I can't leave my friends here. Not like this.
Oh man, it's just bad timing. I don't have time for RP, man. I wanna... Okay, see, this is kind of feels a little sad on the build, because you kind of don't want to... Like, you just want to run around and kill everything. Like, you keep craving for big groups of mobs so you can kill them all. Shadow Endowment. Impale, dash. Dead. And by the way, I will be linking the build planner in the description below, so if you just want to follow along there, I will of course be all the way up to level 25, and will include you having the 2 extra skill points from the Renown. So it will say level 27 probably. So yeah, that is basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this build guide, and I hope this build serves you well. It is extremely fun. As I said, I cannot recommend it enough. So give it a shot if you are down to try Rogue, and yeah, there'll be more build guides coming soon. Take care.